this one still has stuck with me, and it was a couple weeks now, and it goes to show it's got all the same elements. It was a woman much my age here in Canada. So this woman now had a family, lived here in Toronto, was contacted by someone purporting to be a Beijing police officer. Of course, knew her name, knew her address, knew all kinds of information about her, was speaking to her in Cantonese, and told her that she was being investigated back home in China for fraudulent activities, and she needed to return home immediately and be arrested so that she could be investigated. But what they do is they get your brain in such a state of panic. So over the course of 3 months, she was able to convince them, because this was the plan, that she wasn't going to come home to China, but she would post bail, which allowed her to stay in Canada, right? You don't have to, okay, I've talked to the prosecutor. They've said that you don't have to come home, but you do need to post bail. $300,000 gone. A few weeks
No.
go by. Now the charges, the investigation has shown that your involvement is greater than before. The bail has gone up. You need to give us another $300,000. Which is the same, right? It's the same pattern. Don't tell anybody. Isolation. They had her calling them every 3 hours of every day, telling them where she was as part of her bail. It was basically an audio ankle bracelet. You need to call us every 3 hours. So she's in such a state of fear and panic. And then they come back, because they always do. Fraudsters they're never. Next, they come back and they say, okay, we need more money. They always come back for more money. She says, I don't have any more money. She says, I own a condominium, though, in China still. I have a home there. And they're like, okay, sell it, and we'll help you sell it. She sold the condominium and gave them another $600,000. So over 3 months, she lost $1.2 million, with the promise, of course, that it would all be returned to her. So that's an example of that's what they're doing. They're using the social engineering, her vulnerabilities as being a new immigrant. They targeted her. They knew her name. They knew where she lived. They probably knew who her family was, threatened the family here, threatened the family there. That's an example of how fraudsters are accumulating your information, and $1.2 million gone in a course of 3 months. That's
And
one
this is just
example.
one example.
Yep, one example. And that's the tragedy of it. It's heartbreaking. That's why I use that story, because it's so impactful and it's so powerful. And it's not a one thing, one report in a 10,000. It's a consistent theme, right? It's that theme of pressure. It's the theme of urgency. It's a theme of fear. And that's why I don't get hung up on, that was an immigration, that was a fake law enforcement scam. It's the pressure points that are being utilized.